Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Power Sports Dealer Showcase video session. Dave McMahon here. Really thrilled to have Bob Eggstein with us today. Bob is the owner and dealer principal at Keystone Harley-Davidson in Whitehall, Pennsylvania. And hey, Bob, thanks for taking the time. I know it's March and we've got snow melting here in Minnesota, and hopefully you guys are seeing some sun out there in Pennsylvania as well.
Well, it's still cold, but the snow's off the ground, so that's
Yeah,
a positive.
we had warmth here, and then the snow came back just here over the weekend with it. About a nice 10-inch dumping. So hopefully we'll get rid of that and get that salt off the roads, and the dealerships can be off and running around here too. But yeah, I just appreciate the time catching up here. Got a lot of cool things to talk about. One of the things for sure is you guys, man, it feels like over the past 5 years or so, I know you changed locations. You bought the new location in Whitehall, that Lehigh Valley. Just talk a little bit about how you decided to do that and how it's worked out for you.
Yeah, that was again, it was kind of part of the journey. Where the dealership used to be was a more rural area, actually 25 miles north of where we are now.
Yeah.
And that had been an open point with Harley for probably 8 or 9 years.
Hmm.
There was a dealership in that area that had closed shop back in 2010, 09, 2010.
Yep.
And that was just when I got into the business. And I said, eventually, I petitioned Harley. I said, eventually, I want to move there.
Hmm.
And, can you give me the okay to do that? And they did. Took a little while to find a piece of property that was appropriate and it was affordable. And then there was nothing there that I could take and refurbish. It was ground up.
Nice.
So it
Yep.
took, by the time you get permits and that kind of stuff. So we designed the building, got the land development stuff done, and we moved in I think it was November of 2020. Just,
Yeah. So, so I thought I remember that from my Power Sports business days. So November 2020 move in. That's going to get you right, probably building time during COVID. And am I right on that with my math?
yeah, you are. We broke ground in December of 2019,
Mm.
and we had about 2 months of, I was feeling really, really great about the whole thing, and then COVID happened, and we were in a situation where it was, there was no turning back. Had sold the other dealership
Sure.
on the property, and we made the commitment to move forward. And we just thought, let's just go, let's keep going. It was challenging. I didn't really know what was going to happen, what COVID was going to do to the business, and I
Sure.
eventually found out. But we did, like I said, we moved in at the end of 2020 and really started kicking it by January of 21 in the new building.
Right.
So
That's awesome. So you've had you're on the gas just with the new building, and I know here just in the past 6 to 8 months, it feels like you've added Triumph, and now you've got Indian in the store as well. Kind of bucking that trend of dealers consolidating, selling, going out of business. Uh,
mhm.
what is it about that your kind of vision? How's that all coming into play with adding these new brands?
Yeah, well, it kind of was birthed in post COVID. So 21, 22. It was high times for a lot of us, and there was an inventory. It was, everybody wanted motorcycles or ATVs and that kind of stuff. So it was, and the pundits in the industry were like, this is not going to last forever, and we're going to see, something happening. It's going to go back to normal, or it's going to spring back. And
Right.
I started thinking about that, like what's the future going to look like? And then 23. I started thinking, I think I need to diversify our risk, because it's
Sure.
for a single line store, the risk started becoming to me too great.
Yep.
So I started looking at, what are some other brands that we could potentially look to bring in.
Right.
And I really only wanted premium brands.
Hmm.
I could have taken a lot of different brands in, but they didn't fit with our strategy, and they weren't that premium that premium kind of brand that I wanted to continue to certainly
Right.
to complement Harley
Yeah.
and be the same kind of a premium brand. So we started looking, and it came down to actually three brands: Triumph, Indian, and BMW,
Okay.
and started going down that path. Triumph became the first, and we got them locked and loaded. It was last year, August. We built out the showroom. We had about, had some space to put them in there. So we got their showroom within a showroom set up by August and started selling. The unfortunate piece, it was kind of at the tail end of our season, so we didn't get the full feel, but it really started off pretty. We've been making our target numbers and our budget numbers for Triumph.
Fantastic.
Slowed down obviously in the winter. And at the same time, I was talking to Indian, and I thought, I've been talking to them for a while, and I wanted just to understand more about their demographics and their product and so on and so forth. And it started becoming more of a like, hey, I think this might work.
Mm-hmm.
The brand, I like the brand, I like where they're kind of headed. And this was prior to them selling off to private equity to Candlewood. Right. So we had some really good discussions, and we started kind of figuring out where they could fit on the floor, and started moving forward with that. BMW we kind of stopped talking for a little while. They're doing some internal stuff. So started focusing on just us, getting an Indian in there.
Yeah. Nice.
Had long conversations with Harley about it. And I really feel that the demographic is different. And we're starting to see that now. So
nice.
We just got Indian inventory in on the floor about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, fantastic.
So far, we've got 2 bikes out the door.
Excellent. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really a surprise because my biggest concern was, the bringing in a non-Harley brand, like Triumph, and our customer base really accepted it.
Okay.
But most importantly, the staff did. And I think that's one of the most important things is, we spent a lot of time working on cultural last year or two.
Okay.
And, with the leadership that my general manager has put into place, and we've got a good staff that is they're accepting and accountable for all brands.
Right. That's fantastic. Yeah. So when you have those, your conversations with your GM and your staff, what was the main thing that you can remember that that allowed them to get over that potential hurdle? Or that you talk about the culture, I imagine that had a lot to do with it, just being all in on whatever brands we're carrying. We're putting our best foot forward.
Yeah, that was huge. The cultural piece was huge, but we knew where we were headed. We wanted to go multi-brand, and we knew as we were hiring new people on bringing them on board.
Sure.
We knew that they had to be open to new brands.
Yep.
Adaptable to new brands. And I think that really worked because we brought in a lot of new people who were brand agnostic. Just loved motorcycles.
Yep.
Didn't matter what they were. They were motorcycles, and they're touching them, they're riding them, they're talking to customers about them.
Right.
So we kind of changed that whole culture, and that was one of the most important things, because I have seen in the past where the culture can kill something like that pretty quickly.
Right. Yeah. That's a testament to you guys in the shop and the leadership and stuff. So that's awesome.
Yeah. It's worked out really well.
Yeah. Let's see. So coming out of Bike Week here, for your brands, it seems like rolling into March and hopefully a nice sunny and hot April. You got to feel pretty decent about kind of the start to the season, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's really for us in Eastern Pennsylvania. It starts in earnest, post Bike Week. Usually April we start seeing things pick up. People are coming out. We have our big Bike Week. We have our Bike Fest celebration end of April. So that is usually the big kickoff for us.
Okay, got it.
I
Yeah.
think it's going to be really fun this year because we have 3 different brands, and we're just it's a 2-day celebration. So I think it's going to be a lot different this year for us. And I
Cool.
think
Yeah.
the interest in having all the brands under one roof has been, we're starting to see some seeds of positive,
Yeah.
positive action. So
Fantastic.
I think it's starting to show pretty
Right.
good.
That's awesome.
So
You brought up Lehigh Bike Fest.
yeah,
This will be the I think it's the fifth. You started right at the new location then, fifth year? Is that right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we started that. We wanted to. It was really about just kind of building community.
Mhm.
Do a 2-day bike fest, and we have stunt shows going on, and bands,
Nice.
and food, and vendors, and all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
And trying to get the Lehigh Valley to know that there's a bike event, and again, it doesn't matter if it's Harley or Indian or Triumph or
Sure.
Yamaha, Kawasaki. It's open to
Just
everybody.
bike.
So we're
Yeah.
trying to bring a big community together through Bike Fest.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then just for those unfamiliar, the riding area out there, if I'm not mistaken, is pretty remarkable. Is that right?
Yeah, we're at the footsteps of the Pocono Mountains.
Okay, gotcha.
So just north of us, maybe back where the old store used to be, about 25 miles from us north. All sorts of mountain roads
Okay,
and great riding up there. So
right.
it's I call it we're at the foothills of the Pocono Mountains.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
And then just from years past, will people come in from a decent distance to come to the event?
yeah. We get we never really tracked where people are coming from, but typically we're maybe 20 miles from the New Jersey border,
Oh, okay.
about an hour plus from Philadelphia. That whole world down there.
Yeah.
And then we get west of us going out towards Harrisburg. So yeah, we'll get people from all over, and the Lehigh Valley is kind of an untapped market for us. There's a
Okay.
lot of I think our dealer assigned territories for all brands is almost 20,000 bikes.
Okay. Unreal.
It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there. We just have to figure out how to get them. So this is one of the ways to do it is
Yeah.
to just expand our offering to talk to more people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're coming out of the winter season here. What are some of the, I mean, if I recall, you guys have a pretty robust, just a winter storage and maintenance program. How was that? How'd that go for you here this winter?
Yeah, that's good, and it's great because we do a lot of performance work over the winter.
Okay.
One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is that winter storage program. And we didn't even talk about the service side of this, but now we see Triumph customers coming in, Indian customers coming in, who in the past have had to go an hour and a half out of their way to
Right.
get dealer or factory service.
Exactly.
So we don't know how to really put a number on that yet. But
It's going to be
it's a big it's a big market,
right.
but now we've got to figure out what's the service opportunity for us,
Right. Yeah.
and how to staff up for that too. So
Sure.
we've been that's the piece of the strategic move that we think is going to help going into next winter as well.
Right.
Winter storage for multiple brands of bikes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Performance work for multiple brands of bike. Upgrades and all that kind of stuff. So I think it hits on a lot of different things for us. It's choice. It's an expansion of choice for the customer. It hits a lot of different demographics, hits a lot of different price points, and it's supported by a staff that's accountable for being part of the motorcycle industry, not just a brand.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just you guys, you're on the gas, you're growing, you got to figure out all of this, hopefully, service growth and what you're going to do there. What is it about Keystone Harley that's, you guys are bucking the trend there's, as I mentioned, there's dealerships not as in good in good fortune as you guys are. Do you see, not that you're paying attention to a whole lot to a lot of other dealerships, but anything noticeable that other dealerships are, could capitalize on better, or you seeing anything that that you guys are doing differently that sets yourself
Well,
apart from some of these other ones?
I don't think we're doing any aside from expanding our view of the market and the community and trying to address a bigger community.
Sure.
I think all from a Harley's perspective, I think we're all trying to do a lot of the same thing.
Sure.
Everybody's trying to make money, but I think, and I've always said this, the difference between dealerships, good, bad, or indifferent, is always the people.
Okay. Sure.
The product, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've got the same bikes that my competitor, next door has. I've got the same bikes that they have in California. Well, not in California, but Texas or, Florida. We all have the same product. It's really, to me, has always been the experience that your staff delivers with that product.
Sure.
And that goes back to that culture thing. If you don't have the right culture, that kind of breaks down, and then it becomes transactional, and we lose, and we lose in the transaction game. We're just not a big store. We don't have a lot of that financial firepower behind us. So we've got to be relationship based, and the culture supports that.
Yeah. When you look at some of your sales staff, or it could be service or any department, really, the guys who've been there the longest, what is it that, what are some of the traits or qualities that they bring to the job every day that helps you, develop that culture?
So, when I look at the people who have been, a lot of them have been with me since the beginning. So it's loyalty. It's loyalty to Keystone.
Sure.
It's loyalty to the brand, loyalty to motorcycling. And I think that's probably the biggest thing is the loyalty, and then the knowledge comes from that. And that knowledge and that loyalty also helps that build that culture of, you get new people
Sure.
into the industry, coming into sales or service. And I think we're starting to see that a lot of that staff member who has been around for a long time, they're starting to retire, getting out of the business. So there's not that knowledge transfer anymore. So I think that's really important with the people who have been in the industry for a while and have that seniority. They can pass that along to the newer people.
Sure.
So it's passing the baton of knowledge and loyalty and brand and motorcycle passion, and all that stuff gets passed along.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys are on the throttle, as we talked about, but just taking the crystal ball out for a little bit. What do you think Keystone's shaping up like here, if you look like 5 years down the road or so?
Well, that's a really good question, because we're kind of building that 3 to 5 year plan now, and I've got my general manager is actually my business partner, and he's part of the business now in the last 2 years. So we don't know if our if we expand with stores within the Harley ecosystem, or we move out to some different types of. I think expansion would be, but we've got to prove this model out first.
Sure.
So we got to get this model proven out, with these other brands, and I think the economy has to start participating in that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think that's that's kind of the thing is let's get it's been rocky over the last 5 years for us.
Sure.
So we need to get that stabilized in strengthen the store, and then build off of that. So that could be adding more brands. It could be adding different stores. We've got a couple of different things that we're looking at.
Right. That's cool. And then finally, just to wrap up, one question I like to ask is is there one thing you could pinpoint that you guys do at the dealership that's successful, or raises the bar, that other dealership owners might raise an eyebrow at or disagree with, or might think you're a little bit crazy for having tried it and succeeded at it?
I think you got. I mean, if you're going to be in this business, you're going to have to, deal with risk. And I think it's just the amount of risk that you
Okay.
want to take, and that it's not risk for the sake of risk. It's strategic risk that has some strong fundamentals behind it. Like, if we're going to add Indian, what does it mean to our relationship with Harley? What does it mean to our relationship with our customers? If we add
Right.
Triumph, what does it mean? So I think it's a risk thing. You have to be comfortable with, are you willing to do that for
Yeah.
your business?
Right.
And for us, we felt strongly about diversifying our dealership,
Right.
and that's where it kind of started. So, I don't think we do that much different. I think it also comes down to the day-to-day process,
Hmm.
and that's really important. And that kind of, again, if you don't have the right culture, process breaks down,
Sure.
and then it's just chaos after that.
Right.
So.
Well,
So I
that's
don't think there's any one answer for that. I mean, everybody's different, and I think we all want to do well, and we're all passionate about the business.
exactly.
Um, I don't know if that was an answer or not, but that's
Yeah. No, for sure. That's a
yeah,
good way to wrap it up from a
yeah,
strategy standpoint and thinking down the road and making sure hopefully everybody else is doing that as well. Again, hey, congratulations on the NPDA board election.
yeah. Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic. You got a great crew of board members there, as I can attest for sure. And I appreciate all you do for the industry from that perspective as well. But yeah, Bob, I appreciate the time again. And yeah,
Dave.
on behalf of Bob Eggstein from Keystone Harley-Davidson in Whitehall, Pennsylvania, those guys are on the gas doing a lot of things super interesting and fun and strategic and hopefully gaining some profitability from it as well. So thanks for taking the time, Bob. And on behalf of Bob, Dave McMahon here from Power Sports Dealer Showcase, and we'll see you next time on another video.
Thanks, Dave.